And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition, another season here of the GSL. The 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 8 Group B. We are back. We are live. We have returned here with the last day here of the group stage. We already have 2 players confirmed for the semi-finals for the big offline event happening in 2 weeks, and we're here to determine the final 2 players to advance on to face off against them in that round of 4 semi-finals offline event over in South Korea. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. And again, it's been a pretty intense week of StarCraft, and very intense week of StarCraft, I should say. As always, true. We have RSL over the weekend when it comes to the RSL finals. And again, last night we were live with Group A of the GSL round of 8. We already have our 2 players advancing on here in Hero and Cure. And we're now here to determine which of our next 2 will advance on as well. Before we get ahead of ourselves though, here is our schedule. As I mentioned, yesterday we were live with Group A. Today we're live with Group B. And the semifinals and finals the ticket sales are going to be open on the 1st of June. That is going to be in a couple of days, of course, and the 1st of June is going to be available here. So if you are in Korea, if you happen to be traveling to Korea, if you want to go to potentially the final GSL of the year, then this is the place to be. Ticketlink.co.kr is the link here for tickets once they become available again on the 1st of June. So make sure you get your tickets if you do plan on going to the GSL studio to see the semis and grand finals, of course. Let's go, bye. Let's go. It's an amazing event last season, and now this season I'm sure it's going to be amazing as well, bearing in mind that the event itself, the semis and finals, will be taking place on the 7th of June, again in just a week's time. Just over a week's time, I should say. True. Just over a week's time. Meanwhile, we do have our subscription services as well. Again, if you want to support the GSL, if you want to support and fund a potential Season 3, then you can do so via Soup or via Patreon. I just mentioned that this is potentially the final season of the year. That is true. We do have a goal, a stretch goal to reach to be able to fund Season 3. We are not there yet. So if you want to help support the GSL, if you want to help fund a Season 3 of the GSL, then you can do so via Soup and via Patreon. Let's go. As you can see here, these are the stretch goals. Bam, let's zoom in a little bit. You can see here, $6,000 a month has already been reached. We're going to be hosting GSL CK twice a month after the GSL season concludes. And then, of course, for $10,000 a month, we can have a Season 3. And for $15K, that's going to be a boosted prize pool as well. As bam, ooh, we have increased our total here. We, again, just under $8,000 raised per month on Patreon and on Soup combined. And again, the goal here is 10K. 10K. Yeah. That is going to be our goal. But I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to be able to... we'll see. I mean, I hope so. I do hope so here. I just don't know how much time we have to reach that goal before we can confirm a 3rd season or not. Hopefully, we can still work towards that goal throughout the course of over the next couple of months during GSL CK. I would hope so. I'm probably going to make... We're probably going to make a post regarding this maybe before the finals in a couple of days' time. We'll do our best. Regardless, here we go. We have our round of 8. These are our 4 players remaining here. Hero and Cure to advance on to the round of 4. And meanwhile, we have Maru, SHIN, Zhao, and Rogue. 2 Zergs, 1 Protoss, and 1 Terran. And we'll see who can advance on into the semifinals / grand finals as well. Let's go. We have our top 4 players here. Maru, SHIN, Zhao, Rogue. Oh boy, bearing in mind that last season it was Maru and SHIN that were both semi-finalists that actually faced off in the semi-finals as well. They're going to be favored to have a repeat run into those semis. Meanwhile, we'll see if Zhao and Rogue can stop that from happening and stand in their way. We'll see if they can. As we are going to have our starting matches, and here he is. Ooh, we have the best Terran in South Korea. Let's hear his quote here. On-site fighting. Let's go. 2025 GSL Season 1, he did reach the top 8. GSL 2025 GSL Season 2, he got top 8 as well. And then last season, he got top 4. So top 8, top 4. These are his recent GSL performances, of course. And we'll see if he can make it to the top 4 again, or if his run ends once again in the round of 8. Oh. We're here to determine. We're here to find out. Likewise, here we have his first opponent. It was the player that knocked him out of the semifinals last season. It is SHIN. SHIN in GSL Season 2 of 2025, he got up to top 12, and last season, second place last season, off of the back of defeating Maru. Can he do it again in a shorter series? His quote here, "This is the best time for trophy." Let's go, let's go. So saying this time he's going to aim for the win. He got second place last season, this time first place back here. Let's go, let's go. But to do so, he has to bring down the best Terran in the world. He did so previously in a best of 5, but now he has to do it in a best of 3, in a shorter series, a shorter matchup. There's a lot to get into in regards to the ZVT. For now, though, we have Vito's Game 1, Old Republic, Game 2, Tourmaline, Game 3, Winter Madness. Interesting. SHIN does get rid of some of the more aggressive maps. He gets rid of 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, and White Rabbit. I'm a little bit surprised that he allowed Tourmaline through. We'll get into that once we get into that map. Meanwhile, Maru gets rid of Taito, Mothership, and Celestial. These are much more standard Vito's here for Maru, as they're much more difficult for Terran getting into longer games. And here we go, we're jumping into game number 1. Vamonos. Game start. As spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. The blue Terran, if we're onside, it is Maru. And in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from South Korea. It is SHIN. Here we go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 5. Sorry, best of 3. Fresh best of 3 here again. They did face off previously in the best of 5, and SHIN did bring Maru down, but there is something really important to discuss. Okay, so first things first. SHIN, this isn't the first time that he's popped off with a unique style and with some fun flair and shifting the meta in his own way. If you remember, the first time this happened was at DreamHack Dallas last year, where he took down Clem in that tournament, and he was looking like a beast in ZVT, and he did actually shape ZVT as a result of that. And then very quickly, I would say that a lot of Terran players got used to his style and were able to shut him down. Now, once again, we're in a similar position where SHIN, what happened in the previous tournament in GSL Season 1, SHIN, he was playing very 2-base heavy. For now, Hatch got split, but he was playing very 2-base heavy, a lot of 2-base lair, a lot of late third bases, a lot of early roaches, a lot of early roach warrens into 2-base muta, into 2-base roach all-ins, into 2-base hydra play, into macro play, into ultras, but it all was off the back of a more like core 2-base setup here from the side of SHIN. That permeated throughout the entire series, and through his entire ZVT, that has been the case for the past, what, 5 months? That's been SHIN's style for the past, like, 4 to 5 months. Meanwhile, now that it's been showcased in GSL, players like Maru and other Terran players can look at those games, dissect those games, and have a better game plan coming into how to approach SHIN. I would advise, at times, scouting is going to be paramount, of course, to determine what SHIN is up to, but likewise, going into safer play, going into Banshee-based play, has a lot of value as well. I'm curious to see how Maru has reflected upon his series and how he'll readjust up against SHIN. Likewise, I would hope to see SHIN also try to reapproach this series, because you don't want to play the same way twice against Maru or against any player at this level, at this caliber of play in the GSL. So we'll see. We shall see. See cycles in the chat. I'm rooting for the underdogs in these matches. So you're rooting for Maru. I see. So here we go. Maru, he does poke in. So far, going to be deflected. And do you recall what we just said coming into this series? How we do see SHIN has been very 2-base heavy. You're seeing it here. SHIN, no third. SHIN, he has no third base. And again, this is standard from SHIN. This is not standard in ZVT, but specifically SHIN, he is one that does delays third base quite heavily. So he stays on 2 bases. It's very, very safe play here. It means that there's less opportunities for Maru to try to get damage done early on, so we can build up in towards the mid game, and whether we go for an all-in from there, yet to be determined. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Maru goes for a starport. That's going to be a starport before CC. So Maru, he's going for a more aggressive and you could argue safer build, but he's being less economic. And I do like this. We just alluded to this actually, and hey, Maru, he's listening to the stream, but I do like the idea of going for 1-1-1s against SHIN because the high chance of roach play. So I do like this here from Maru. He does go for a delayed third base. At the same time, he wants that drone. Oh no, he wants it. Yeah, the drone gets low. Does pull away and will once again delay the third base. It was already delayed. At the same time, Shinny does go for a big counterattack. Hellion production. Hellions are halfway across. They're already across the map. Yeah, they're already across the map. We do have the Evo wall off. Lings, they busted. Oh, he gets into the main. He gets into the main base. Gets surrounded the Marines. SCV's going to be going down. The wall is open. The wall is wide open. Lings, they flooded in. SCV's are going down. And this is critical damage. At the same time, Hellions, they also go in. The drones are lining up. Oh my god. Drones do line up. Drones are going down, but at the same time, that's going to be 13 SCV kills, and we're still not done. There's still Lings in the main, and they're still wreaking havoc. They're still getting more and more done. 14 SCV kills. We're not done, Pappy. We're not done. Oh my god, has to be so close. Has to be so careful. Bit of miscontrol there by SHIN. He accidentally did click on the CC. Hellions will pop, but not before the Debo falls. That massive pick of the Debo, barely on the repairs. Repairs will keep the wall up and running, and Maru, he will survive, but Maru, he sustains so much damage here. He's down to 19 SCVs, critical damage dealt. Yes, SHIN did lose 6 drones, that is true, but that pales in comparison to 14 SCV kills. So Maru, he is down. Not out yet, but remember, on top of this, Maru isn't just down in the economy, but remember, Maru went for a late 3rd CC, went for a delayed 3rd expansion, so this means that this Banshee, now it's not good enough to just defend, now he needs damage dealt, but spores are on the way, queens are popping up, and I believe there is no clerk. Yep, no clerk. No clerk has been researched, Banshee is deflected, Maru, he is in trouble. He's in trouble, Pappy. Ay. Lair is finishing up. It is a Lair first here by SHIN. SHIN, he may even go mutas. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, no, yeah, because of the 1-1-1, I wouldn't be opposed to mutas. I think it's smart. And there it is. Spire gets thrown down. Now, I was about to second guess myself and be like, oh, do I want to go to mutas when we're forcing aggression out of Maru? But remember, because of Maru's 1-1-1, he has no potential stim timing, so muta play should be safe. Meanwhile, double armory, Maru, his plan here is to turtle up and go into mech. But I do think that mutas and Spire play will be able to surpass and just trump Maru here in terms of trying to get into mech here, being quite greedy, double armory into additional factories. What shoots up? So far, nothing. He can go into battle mech, of course, and he will have some anti-air, but there is a counterplay against the Cyclones with Mass Muta because of their ability to break those lock-ons and to bypass the Cyclones. We'll see if Maru blindly makes Cyclones or if he sticks with Hellion for now. The Spire's almost done. Yeah, the Spire's almost done. Maru, he rotates over. He does back off, he does rotate, he's getting into his double upgrades. Muta production has begun, and the question becomes, does Maru make those Cyclones? Oh, he's going Widowmine. Oh, okay. I mean, Widowmines have potential. If they can connect with the mutas, then Widowmines, they can pop off, they can overwhelm. They would go first, a Cyclone is in production, second Cyclone as well. But they will not have macro accelerators. They won't have accelerators. Hellions, they bust in towards enemy mutas are revealed. They reveals the mutas, boys are being pulled. That's going to be a lot of damage. 6 drone kills already. At the same time, Lings, they get across the map. Yeah, they get across. The wall is going to finish. Despite that, SCVs are still getting called out. Oof. Yeah, SCVs are falling. Lings, they're knocking down that front door. 12 drones. Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage being dealt here, but Maru is still behind. Look at the drone count. That just shows how far ahead SHIN was. He can lose 12 drones and still be up 30 workers. That is insane. Lings, they're going for the Cyclone. Yeah, they're going for the Cyclone. There is that one Widow mine. And if Maru can bait the mutas into the mine, can he bait him in? Oh. Can he bait him into the minefield? If he can win this fight. Otherwise, Maru is contained. Turrets are being thrown down, and SCVs are falling. Yeah, mutas, they hit the gas guys. Are getting 1, getting 2. Getting 3? Yeah, 3 SCV kills. Nice damage here by SHIN. Takes down 3 workers. Behind this, we have SHIN taking up, going for the Roach Horn, going for the Infestation, but he, of course, now confirms that it is going to be mech. So switching into a Roach-based composition. And because these mutas, he's already doing in-run damage. He's forcing Maru to be contained, and he's also forcing out turrets. Forcing out more anti-air, more Widow mines, more Cyclones. Containing Maru. This is delaying tank production, of course, as well, which does allow for roaches to excel even more. As we hit the gas geyser once again, gets another SCV. Gotta be careful. Pulls away. So far, no muta kills. The mutas have gone down, I meant to say. Mutas, so far, they do sustain themselves. Roaches are amassing. The SHIN is going to be the first to max. And again, Maru, he is still down. He is still not stabilized. He's trying, don't get me wrong. He's trying to stabilize, trying to turtle up. And there is a world where if you can land these mine shots, you can see the Widow mine is here in the gas geyser. Oh! Jesus. despite that, still picks off 2 SCVs and the Gas Geyser itself. Not bad. Takes down the Gas Geyser. SHIN does pull away. SHIN, he backs off, he pulls away. From here, he should be amassing roaches. Plus on range is on the way. Overlord speed against Dropper Lords. Maru trying to turtle up. And we're waiting for that max out moments where SHIN can try to knock down that 4th base. He's free to just build up. He's already at 91 drones, a crazy drone count. And SHIN will soon max and soon push in. And it's all going to come down to the Widow Mines. It all comes down to the mine shots. If they connect well, then Maru can save the 3rd. If they don't, then Maru will lose the 3rd base. The 4th is ambitious, I think. Good, Maru claiming the 4th. SHIN should soon be activated. We're expecting a move out. Oh, we'll take a mine shot to the face. SHIN does scout the 4th, and SHIN, we're going to be active. We're going to do something about this. Catching 1, 2, 3 Mutalisks. SHIN now moving in. No bailing speed. He didn't research. Wait, what? I thought I saw it on the production tab earlier. Very late bailing speed out of SHIN. Ooh, this is going to hurt him. If Maru can get this 4th base up and running, he can stabilize. If he can't get this up, mine shot going off, and no major connection, Bailey's gonna roll in, they should collapse on the planetary, and they will. Yeah, the planetary will go down. But again, with that bailing speed, he cannot dive on those cyclones. This is a very messy transition here from SHIN. Again, no excuse for no bailing speed. TvZ will catch out 1, 2 tanks at least, maybe? Not 1, just 1 tank. 1 tank and a cyclone. And SHIN just has to keep hammering away at that 4th base. But again, Maru, he's catching up in terms of army supply. He's catching up. So just that fake 4th. No, it's very real. It's a very real 4th base. Like Maru's on 82 workers. He's on 4 base saturation. Maru needs the 4th base to be able to turtle up and to be able to afford a greater army. Very real. And again, SHIN needs to knock it down. Sword production has begun. We do have a wave of Brood Lords. This will help, but there are Thors on the way. Pre-Thor, these Brood Lords can break the 4th. And again, he needs to. Like, SHIN, he has to break that 4th expansion. Ooh, brutal mine connection. Brutal mine shots. Bailey's they roll in, they collapse on the Hellbats more than anything. Planetary should go down. Shows the Biles. Yeah, Thors are coming in, but they have no support. And the planetary falls. It should fall at least. Up. There we go. Does focus it down. Does fall. Thors did focus on some of the Brood Lords. And down goes the middle line. And 19 SCV kills. 22 critical damage being dealt. And SHIN has done it. SHIN has done it. Again, it all came down to the 4th. If Maru could defend the 4th expansion and save it, then different story. He does clean up every single Brood Lord. That is true. But he lost 27 SCVs. He lost so many workers, and here comes the Remax. Links are trickling in. He wants the Thors. He wants them. Ah, no. He gets 1, and he should get the other. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we're throwing away a lot of Zerglings. Command Center survives. SHIN backing up, going into Ling Hydra as a composition. Interesting. Ling Hydra can do very well against Tank Thor, against a Tank Thor heavy army. Ling Hydra, specifically Ling Hydra Viper. And hey, there are 3 Vipers. 3 Vipers have arrived. So SHIN, a very nice tech switch. As he does have potential with this army. The ideal here is to Blinding Cloud the tanks. Yes, a Blinding Cloud the tanks. And then he can break the siege line. The planetary is also stuck to the ground, so that's going to be the next target. Baits out the mine shots, and this base should fall. The expansion will fall. Takes down the 5th. But really, it's not about the 5th, it's about the 4th base. It's all about this 4th expansion. Does go for a couple of Ducklings. Blinding Cloud's one of the tanks. A bit of a messy fight here. We do need more Zerglings. He does take down all the Thors, though. Very nice. Yeah, nice spread, nice engage. All the Thors go down. Takes down 2 tanks. 1 tank left. GG gets called, and SHIN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, SHIN having a massive lead early on, and Maru struggling to stabilize, and he never quite did. Never quite did. We spoke about it earlier, but it all came down to Maru securing the 4th expansion, and Maru, he did try multiple times to hold on to that 4th base. It was on full 4-base saturation, but he could not defend. Why is that? The map itself. Remember, the map itself does favor aggressive styles. Old Republic, it is very difficult to defend the 4th expansion. So difficult because it's a low-ground 4th base. It's very open as well. Compare Old Republic to Winter Madness or Celestial Enclave. You have much more secure 4 expansions. Meanwhile, on Old Republic, it's very difficult. Very difficult. This is why Old Republic is one of the more common vetoes to get rid of here, but Maru got rid of Taito instead, so he allowed Old Republic through. Meanwhile, we're loading into game number 2. We're loading into game 2 here. Game 2 is gonna be on Tourmaline. Now, this is where we do lean towards the Terran player. Usually, these larger, more open maps are favoring Zerg, like the Old Republic. Smaller, more concise rush maps favor Terran. And this is where Maru has the opportunity to bring it back. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. The blue Terran, it is Maru for onside. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It is SHIN. Now, if you recall, I mentioned something at the start of this series. If you recall, when we saw the vetoes, I was like, yo, SHIN let Tourmaline through? Like, I was like, that's kind of weird. Tourmaline favors aggression so heavily and typically favors Terran and TvZ because of that. We can go for these early timing attack, these early pushes. So I'm curious how SHIN will approach this map. In my mind, the only way to play on Tourmaline is Roach-based play. You got to open Roach. You got to either open Roach or rush Roach early on. I feel like that has to be the go-to for SHIN. We'll see as he does go gasless. Yep, this screams, I mean, I say this screams Roaches, this screams early lair. Oh, and it's 2x Reaper. Okay. So a couple of things are going on here. So SHIN does open gasless. He does go hatchery into spawning pool. Meanwhile, Maru goes 2x Reaper. So because of this opener, Maru's going to have extra Reapers, and he's ideally going to be denying and delaying the 3rd expansion. The problem is SHIN is going gasless, which means there is no 3rd. There will not be a 3rd base. He's going to be staying intentionally on 2 expansions. So this 2x Reaper doesn't really have too much potential to get damage done, I feel. Obviously, because of the gasless opener, there's going to be delayed link speed, and because link speed is going to be so late, there's not really going to be much of an answer for the Reapers to regain map control. That is true, but the queen count should be high. Should be a high queen count for SHIN. As Reapers are amassing, SHIN is moving in. Also, I should quickly emphasize that if you haven't seen this variation of 2x Reaper, Maru's been very fond of it, and he showcased it quite a lot last season in GSL. The idea of going 2x Reaper, but inside of the main, not at the natural. The reasoning for this is to keep it hidden that much longer, so that the Zerg player has a delayed reaction. Typically, the Zerg player will scout this with the first Overlord hidden in the natural, but now you have to go all the way into the main to scout and to confirm. So it's going to be a later scout, but the 2nd Reaper is revealed. So SHIN now knows. First queen pops out. Drone is saved. And we can see SHIN trying to get across the map. Now, upon scouting the queen timing, Maru knows. Yeah, Maru, he knows it was pull first, so he stays back home with the Reaper. He knows that there are lings out on the map somewhere. So very nice read here by Maru, as he is waiting for the Zerglings. Behind this, Maru going for 3 CC 2-on-1. This is going to be leading into a 6-minute timing, a 6-minute stim timing. Does he react? Oh my god, does react in time. Despite that, the SV is going to be focused down. Nice delay on the command center. Very nice. The Reaper shouldn't go down, but nice damage on the left side of SHIN. That's nice damage. From here, SHIN confirms the timing of the factory. He should be aware of the third command center. Meanwhile, there is that faster lair. Remember, 2 base lair out of SHIN into the Roach Warren. If you recall, we mentioned that it's going to be 363 racks. Oh my god, I thought that was a factory. So this is actually going to hit harder. It's still going to hit at 6 minutes. Actually, it might even hit a little bit earlier because we're not waiting for the starport. So a very aggressive timing here from Maru. But remember, as we called at the beginning of the game, Tourmaline, you got to play Roach. Like, you have to play Roaches on Tourmaline. Like, Ling Bane is not viable on this map. So Roaches are going to be amassing, and Roaches can keep SHIN safe depending on when he cuts worker production. Oh, very nice timing for Maru. Can he force a cancel? Can he force a cancel? He can. Yeah, he can force a cancellation. Massive pickup. SHIN has nothing to defend. There's that cancel. SHIN is contained. So nice contained here out of Maru. Reaper's a rotate into the main base. Queen's in position. Does get a Reaper. And Maru, he sacrifices 1 for the scouts. He confirms the 2-base lair. He confirms the gases. I don't believe he's seen the Roach Warren yet, but he's headed towards the natural, and he will confirm. So Maru, he will see everything. This is worth it. It's going to cost him Reapers, but he gets a full scout. He can see all the gases and the Roach Warren researching, so he knows it's 2-base Roach. And you can see Marauder production has begun. So Maru's building up into Marauders. Now, my assumption, if you recall, was that Maru was going to go for a 3-rack stim timing and hit around 6 minutes. But it looks like he's going to be waiting for his starport. It looks like he's still hit it around that timing, of course, but he's still waiting for the upgrades and for the medevacs to pop out. This will give time for SHIN to build up some Roach Ravager. As SHIN does scout the Bio Army, is aware. Is aware. Infestation is on the way. It's going to be very clutch timing. So the pit is going to be for safety infestors, and if SHIN can get 1 or 2 infestors, he can hold, but he needs more time, and Maru's going to be pushing soon. We attempt to go for a counterattack, but Maru's in position. It was a cheeky move out of SHIN, but oof. Yeah, he does commit it. He does get 1 of the Roaches. Sorry, he does get 1 of the Rabbit. Marauders, I meant to say. Does get 1, does get 2. Massive pickups. 2 Marauders go down. Very nice catch. I thought it was going to be SHIN getting caught out, but no, he sniped both Marauders. He sniped both. Now we can bile down the bunker. We'll force a cancel. Nice pickup. I was concerned that SHIN was going to be able to build up in time, but no, he was. To the point where he can even force Maru back home. So very nice. And that means that these 2 infestors will spawn in. So SHIN holds. SHIN, he does hold. He's able to hit Maru before Maru hits him. Maru's stuck on 2 bases. Now claiming a 3rd. And SHIN is comfortably building up into the mid-game. Okay, so we have a game. We have a game here. My big concern was going to be that big stim timing, but stim timing has come and gone. So Maru's stuck at home, claiming a 3rd base. SHIN is securing his 4th expansion, droning up as well. And now we're building up in towards the mid-game. This is where things can get a little bit more spicy. This is where Maru can go into drop play. One of the big downsides of SHIN's composition is lack of anti-air, right? No Hydras, no Spire, no Corruptors, no Mutas. So anti-air is quite limited, and drop play can excel here against SHIN. Meanwhile, SHIN's win condition is no longer to kill, it's to get up to 4-base saturation and get into Hive Tech and get into Ultras. Ultra Tech is going to be SHIN's big power spike. That's his win condition. It's up to Maru to stop him from getting there. To stop the Hive, stop the Ultras. Maru does rush in. He's going for the 4th. Expansion gets low. Ooh, Fungal grazes the army, catching out a Marauder and a Marine. The Infestors! He wants them! He gets 1! Oh, barely not actually. The Infestor barely gets away. Whew. Okay, quick reactions there by SHIN. Still lose all 4 tumors. And the drop play here has been okay for Maru. It's been okay. He's still being active, of course. Not gonna be turned back. Hive is now done. Ultra Cavern's on the way. Remember what we said? The Ultra Cavern and the Ultra Tech is going to be a big power spike for Shin. That is Shin's win condition, because Shin will hit with Ultras before Maru has Ghosts. So things are looking a little bit shaky here for Maru. And Creep is being respread. Got Microbial Shroud on the way. I believe it's still only 2 Infestors. Yeah, it's still only 2, so the Infestor count is still quite low. And remember, Shin still has to wait for the Ultra upgrades. Now, against a low amount of Ultras, Maru should be fine. Like, he's got a decent Marauder count, and he knows what's coming, right? And we already have tanks set up. We have Liberators on the way as well. This is decent against, like, 4 or 5 Ultras, but once we get more than that, that's when things get more difficult. So we have 4 Ultras in production. Kindness Plating is on the way. +3. On top of that, specifically on Tourmaline, the center expansion is very open. It's a very open center base. It's very accessible. Now we see why, or at least in my mind, this is why Shin went for this map, is because he believed that he would just open up 2 base anyway, just go 2 base roach, survive the early game, and then have a stronger mid game with his Ultras with how open the 4th and 3rd base are. As this is a map where it is difficult for the Terran player to turtle up on. That is true. I was mentioning how aggression is favored on this map, but it's going to be Shin being the aggressor. Ooh, we'll lose 1 Infestor. Shin down to 1 Infestor left. Like, we need more than just 1 Microbial Shroud. Like, we only 1 Infestor. I'm not too convinced here for Shin. Oh no! Infestor gets caught out. 0 Infestors. He has 1 Microbial Shroud. Doesn't really impact, and he just rolls in. Yeah, he tries to commit. Bit of friendly fire. 1 Ultra goes down. He's got 3 Ultras left. Down to 2, down to 0. Yeah, messy fight here for Shin. Very messy. Trying to push in with 0 Infestors. That was not going to work. In the end, better fight for Maru, and Shin's in trouble. Shin's in trouble. He needs time to build up his Ultras again. And he needs Infestors. Meanwhile, shout out to Maru for sniping both Infestors before the fight occurred. If it wasn't for that, there would have been, what, like 3 Microbial Shrouds over the main army as well, and the center base might have just gone down. But things are looking rough now for Shin. That was Shin's power spike, by the way. Like, that was it. Like, that was his moment. And Shin, he failed to break the fort. And now Shin's losing map control. 6th base goes down. Maru's moving out with double drops. And Shin has no anti-air. He's in trouble. Yeah, this is very quickly getting out of hand. Doom drop into the main base. Massive drop. Fungals. Oh, do you connect? Okay. Nice finishing with the Fungal. Collapsing on the Marauders. Ooh, another Fungal. Biles will not land. But cheeky moves here by Shin. Very cheeky. And Shin, he is able to hold on. He defends. The Ultra count is still very low. Ooh, losing 1, 2 Infestors. Once again, the Infestors, they get caught. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Shin, he's so heavily reliant on these Infestors to actually have any good fights, and to lose them before any big engagements is brutal. Not like this. Now Shin's being forced into Aspire, into Corruptors. Vipers are on the way. Maru now claiming another expansion. Getting a 5th. That's a big moment here for Maru. A 5th base is all that Maru needs to secure his bank. And Shin's in trouble. Shin, he cannot let these bases get up and running, but he has no army. Like, he can't stop him. He can't stop Maru. Shin only has 3 Ultras. Shin again, he's just stuck at home. The Mass Marauder here trading well. Oh yeah, trading very well here. Again, Shin just cannot engage. Oh my god. He can't fight the Marauders. He's trying. Oh god. Yeah, once again, just getting punished. 9 drones go down, so is the expansion. Maru, he breaks the center base. Again, SHIN just can't touch him. Finally collapsing in, rushing into a minefield. SHIN doesn't have enough. Yeah, he does not have enough. He's now losing bases. The hatchery may just go down. It's getting close. Oh no, SHIN collapses in. Fighting on Maru's terms, he's gonna lose all 3 ultras. Every ultra goes down. As I mentioned, after that first big fight, everything just went downhill for SHIN. Like that, as we mentioned, as we tried to emphasize at the time, like that first ultra push, like that was SHIN's moment. Like that was it. And for that to fail the way that it did, I mean, that just swung heavily in favor of Maru. And Maru being hyper efficient. That's a kill, not a cancel. Takes down the expansion. And SHIN's just falling further behind. He's falling further behind here. Maru's perfecting his army, building up more liberators. Ghosts are on the way. Nukes as well. SHIN just doesn't really have much of a threatening army. He has no creep spread either. He has no presence on the map. Just now cleans up the drop. And SHIN, he needs something to go his way. He needs to knock down the 5th base, or at least deny this expansion here. He's built up to 7 ultras, okay, but no infestors. So he won't have any microbial shrouds to dive in. Tanks are somewhat on siege, okay, does get the tanks, very nice. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks going down. This is the best fight that SHIN could have hoped for. He does get all the tanks. Cleans up the liberators. And Maru, where were the ghosts? They're out of position. Yeah, Maru, he was out of position. I said where were the ghosts? Where's the bio army? Marauders out of position. They were out of position. Busts into the mineral line. A better fight here for SHIN. Breaks a 3rd. And now we gotta back off. Yeah, as the Marauders now rotate over, SHIN, he's gotta be careful here. No! Yeah, throws away 1, 2, almost 3 ultras. SHIN overextends. He has to respect the Marauders. But that was a good push. Oh, it was another Ultralisk. Oh, these are expensive losses for SHIN. So SHIN should have, at the moment, he should have 4 extra Ultras. Oof, as he will lose both Vipers. Very nice retargeting there by Maru. But SHIN, whoever stayed, is welcome. He lost 4 Ultras as a result of that. And now SHIN is hurting. That's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. We're getting rowdy, we're getting messy. Nicely run by, very nice. SHIN cleans up the drop. SHIN kills 13 SCVs. Oh my, there's so many mules. The mule hammer, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. And here come the ghosts. There's what, 10 ghosts out here for Maru. Down to 3 ultras, what should be 7. Oh, Infestor's coming in from behind. There's potential. SHIN can look this out. Oh no! Lens 1. Massive fungal. Get the chain fungals. They continue. And every ghost should go down. And no escape. Massive pickups. Oh my god. Maru, he plummets in supply. That's it. Keep going. Keep going. Nice mind connection. Lingbane rallying on forward. Maru, he fell for the trap. He fell for it, Pappy. Keep going. Oh. Yeah, SHIN just doesn't quite have enough. But a very nice fight for SHIN. We're getting messy. We're getting messy at this point. Getting very messy. Where both players are hurting. Maru, he's burning through his bank. So is SHIN, specifically the gas bank. And what are we rebuilding on? So Maru, of course, is going into Ghost Liberator. Meanwhile, SHIN, I believe he has not rebuilt his infestors. Still 1. Yeah, he has one infestor. brings a lock down the army. Still denies the expansion though. And SHIN, can he deny the 6th base? Okay, that's the only infestor that SHIN has. No, he gets caught. SHIN gets caught out. 0 infestors. 0 fungal growths. Again, without fungals, I don't really see SHIN looking down the army outside of this round, of course. Right, there's a world where maybe he can flank the army, come in first round, and lock down Maru, but that's a big if. Oof, brutal mine shots. We have more mine shots as well. Oh no! Okay, forcing friendly fire, but yeah, we're running out of Ling Bane. Running into more Widow Mines. Yeah, massive minefield. The planetary does go down. Denies the 6th base, but snipes are coming in. Massive snipes. Can he get on top of the ghost? Can he get on top? Oh god, SHIN, he's committing very hard here. SHIN commits. He has to back the hell off. Ghost they punish. Oof. And he has to run through a minefield. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, very messy engage here from SHIN. These Widow Mines have been insane. Doing so well here for Maru. And we still have no infestors. I mean, again, one of the reasons is because SHIN has no gas. Oh my god. SHIN has no gas. And that's on SHIN. I don't know if you can see this, but on the minimap, he's missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gas geysers. Like, SHIN can take extra. There we go. SHIN, he just took 2 gas geysers in the center. He now does recognize, he's like, hold up, I'm kind of broke. And he is. He is broke. Drop on the top side. SHIN is in position. Maru securing his 6th base. Building on more ghosts. Oof. Mine shots are insane. Moving in. Once again, there's no fungals, so the army shouldn't get caught. Oof. Brutal connection. SHIN, we need it without infestors, he just cannot engage, and the base goes down. Yeah, the base will fall. Massive pickup. SHIN going for a Ling counterattack instead. Trying to, but it's denied. SHIN just getting bullied out. Trying to bait out the mine shots. Okay, there's 18 Widow Mines. Oh my god. It does try to drag them through. Does not get on top of the ghosts. Yeah, messy engage. And with that, SHIN has nothing left. And Maru, he overwhelms. He takes the better fight. He breaks the main army. And Maru, GG gets called. Maru, he will claim the game. And we're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Maru. He will tie things up. We're going all the way to game 3. Again, SHIN had some very questionable decision making, I will say. There were definitely some moments and some fights that SHIN committed into where he didn't need to, or where he just overextended, bled out extra units. He maybe felt the pressure to try to end the game early and try to commit then and there when he saw an opportunity that didn't really exist. And just some really rough moments there, really rough trades, really rough fights. Likewise, there were a lot of moments where SHIN was caught with 0 infestors, and you saw that without infestors, he could not engage with Maru. He needed to somehow lock down the army, and time and time again, the infestors would get sniped and they wouldn't be replaced. They wouldn't be replaced until much later. On top of that, gases. SHIN was not taking his gases in time. There were 6 gases idle there for SHIN, and without those gases, he could not afford anything. He had 2,000 minerals in the bank, but that meant nothing. The mineral bank meant nothing. He didn't need those gases. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match, going to be loading into Winter Madness. Whew. This time a much larger map of the map pool. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for onside. It is Maru. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into the ace match here. It all ends here. It all ends on Winter Madness. A much larger map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground, and more defendable bases as well. Much more defendable. So this is where I would say Maru's going to be more favored when it comes to securing a 4-base setup. But what's important is the 5th expansion. The 5th base on this map is much more open. So in my mind, it's similar to on Tourmaline, where the goal for SHIN should be to play safe, to build up and gain map control, and fight mainly for Maru's 5th expansion. Not for the 4th, not for the 3rd, but for the 5th base instead. And play for the late game and play into Ultra Tech. So Roach into Ultra, in my mind, would make the most sense here for SHIN. For now, it is going to be a hatch gas pool standard opener out of SHIN. And we'll see if we can get to the mid to late game. See if we can get there. Likewise from Maru, we'll see if he does go for another 1-1-1. I wouldn't be opposed to it. We'll see how Maru will approach the mid game as well, and what kind of opener he does delve into. Here we go. As for now, again, we are going to be settling in. So hatch gas pool, standard opener out of SHIN, getting into link speed. SHIN, I believe, did for the most part pull out of gas, for the most part. Likewise, Reaper does this for the Zerglings. And if you notice, once again, SHIN, he has no 3rd base. It's very SHIN. No 3rd expansion. Staying on 2 bases. And Maru's going for a 3rd command center before Starport. So economic build out of Maru. And 2 base opener out of SHIN. From here, this should lead into an eventual 3rd base, into a faster lair, into roach play, in my mind at least. I would say that this map, because it's not Tourmaline, because aggression is really favored, SHIN could just play Ling Bane. He could play Ling Bane into Ultra instead. Doesn't have to play roaches here. We'll see. I know that he is a roach boy, and he likes his roaches, for sure. And for good reason. But eyes are on SHIN. But this is going to be 3CC, Cloak Banshee out of Maru. Reaper does poke in. Will go down, but we'll get a full scout at the same time. Lings are coming for a big counter attack, and they do get into the middle line. Yeah, they catch a couple of SCVs, a couple of them. No, not even. Yeah, good reaction to Maru. This thing run by is not worth it. He gets 1 SCV. He kills 1 worker. Oof. That was a big investment here from SHIN. What's interesting to me here is that we're actually going for a 3CC 1-1-1 into second racks with delay, with no Hellion production. It's a really weird build. Like, it's sorry, I'm just now realizing that Maru, he used the factory solely for add-ons for the reactor and now for the tech lab as well, but he didn't make any Hellions. It's interesting. So because of this build, Maru, he does have excess Marines, but he's not going for an early sim timing. He's still going Cloak Banshee. So it's like a 3CC 2-on-1 variation with Cloak Banshee. It's really odd. It's very unique. Because of this, Maru has less map presence, but it's worth it, right? Like, he was expecting Shin to counterattack, and Shin did, and Maru punished. The downside of this build that Maru is going for is that, as I mentioned, he has no Hellions to threaten creep tumors, so he has no map presence to deny creep. But it was worth it because he caught all the Zerglings. Yeah, meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills. Ay. Yeah, this is just too much damage. 4 drones going down, the Banshee gets away, Lings are moving for another counterattack. Shin is falling apart. Like, this is not going to do any damage. Yeah, Shin sustaining a lot of losses here. Losing 4 drones, throwing away a massive amount of Zerglings. Lings going down. Just a very messy early to mid game here for Shin. And this means that Shin has a delayed economy coming into the mid game, which should not be the case. Right, typically on Winter Madness, we expect the Zerg player to be able to get up to 3, 4, 5 bases relatively quickly. Now we have Maru with extra Marines than normal. Now we can start to push. Oh, and I believe they're pointing out there's no bailing speed. I believe. I mean, Shin shouldn't need bailing speed to defend against this. Hopefully Shin does recognize soon because we're going for the hydrogen already. Shin does snaps in. Cat does catch out 1 Marine. Gets 1 Marine, +2 has begun. There's bailing speed alongside Hydra, so it's going to be initially Ling Bane Hydra out of Shin. He's not going Ling Bane Infestor Ultra. Interesting. And we'll see if he can keep up. Hatchery taking so much damage though. Oh my god. Does he get it? He does! Wow, he gets the expansion. 5th base goes down. Ay. And Shin, he is stumbling his way into the mid game. Losing drones, losing Lings, losing bases. Maru does have momentum. Maru's in the driver's seat. And jumping on the right hand side. Shin getting supply blocked. He stuck out 148 supply. 7 overloads on the way. Oh god, no. Shin is falling apart, Bappy. 8 overlords in production. Ay. Maru's pushing because of the supply block. Shin has less to defend, and this is just the timing here for Maru. This is his moment. Maru, he should break the expansion. He might even just keep going. We'll see. It would be greedy. Sets up. This hatchery should be killed. Nice catch on the reinforcements, okay. Shin does catch a couple of Marines. Oh, but he cannot push into 3 siege tanks. Maru, he's pushing forward. He has momentum. Shin, he does catch some reinforcements. Yeah, he somewhat trades. Gets cleaned up though. And yeah, this is the best move here. Like, Shin cannot fight the main army. He just goes for the counterattacks. Oof, massive tank shots though. The run bys are denied. Shin's in trouble. He will lose another expansion. That's 2 bases going down. Ay. And again, the reason for this is because of the messy early game, right? We were emphasizing that, but Shin, he had a very rocky early game. When it came to losing his expansions, his drones, his Lings, it all adds up. And this should be too much at this point. Yeah, he's going in for the kill. No banelings, all the lings go down. This northern base should fall. There's no saving it. Heavy losses for SHIN. Yeah, he's just trickling into his death. Tanks are behind this. They punish the banelings. Hydras go down, and with that, Maru snowballs out of control. He breaks the main army, and he's looking to claim the series and get his revenge from the playoffs. And he does push forward. SHIN, he does barely hold on here on the top side, getting on top of the tanks. Shows the natural. GG gets caught. He does not have enough, and Maru will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the winners match. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very rough ace match here for SHIN. I would say that I can see a world where SHIN 2-0s. Like game 2, there were a lot of opportunities. Like game 2, there were a lot of opportunities for SHIN, and as I mentioned at the time, it looks like SHIN, his decision making, it looks like he was maybe feeling a little bit too pressured to find damage, so he was pushing in often too soon, too early, and engaging when he was lacking the critical units that he needed, whether it's infestors, whether it's with ultras, whether it's with just a better angle of attack. Did feel like he was just a little bit too premature too many times in game number 2, to the point where he lost momentum, and then Maru was able to bounce back. But it was still a back and forth, right? Like, I would say that SHIN still had better opportunities in game 2. Here in game 3, from the beginning, it was brutal. Like, for the game 3 here was heavily in Maru's favor from almost the beginning. Was much shaky here, but GG well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series, Zound versus Rogue. See you soon after the break.